Welcome to episode 181 of Gods and Heroes of Ancient Greece. My name is MyLinda Butterworth, and today we continue with part 5 of the love story of Eros and Psyche. Then the white bird, the gull, which swims on the waves of the water, flew towards the ocean sea, where she found Aphrodite washing and bathing herself, to whom she declared that her son was burned and in danger of death, and moreover, that it was a common gossip in the mouth of every person who spoke evil of all the family of Aphrodite, that her son does nothing but haunt harlots in the mountains, and she herself maliciously used to rampage in the sea, so they say, that they have become ungracious, unpleasant, cruel, incivil, monstrous, and horrible. Moreover, the marriages are not created for amity or for love of procreation, but full of envy, discord, and debate. This the curious gull did clatter on in the ears of Aphrodite, berating her son. But Aphrodite began to cry and said, "What has my son gotten, love? I pray thee, gentle bird, thou dost serve me so faithfully. Tell me what she is. What is her name that has caused trouble for my son? Whether she be any of the nymphs, or of the number of the goddesses of the company of the muses, or of the mystery of my graces?" To which the bird answered, "Madam, I know not what she is, but this I know, that she is called Psyche." Then Aphrodite with fury cried out, "What? Is it she, the usurper of my beauty, the proxy of my name? What will he think, that I was a courtesan, by whose show become familiar with this maid?" And immediately she departed and went to her chamber, where she found her son wounded exactly as she had been told. And when she saw the state he was in, shouted out, "Is this an honest thing? Is this honorable to your parents? Is this the reason that you violated and broke the command of your mother and sovereign mistress? And whereas you should have vexed my enemy with loathsome love, you have done contrary. For being of tender and unripe years, you have, with a too lecherous appetite, embraced my most mortal foe, to whom I shall be made a mother, and she a daughter. You have presumed and thought, you trifling boy, you rogue and without any loyalty, that you were most worthy and excellent, and that I am not able by reason, because of my age, to have another son, which if I might have, you should well understand that I would bear one worthier than you. Now I may decide to adopt one of my servants, and give him your wings, this fire, this bow, and these arrows, and all other furniture which I gave to you. Not for this purpose, neither is anything given to you of your father for this purpose. But first, you have been brought up evilly and instructed in thy youth. You have your hands ready and sharp. You have often offended your ancients, and especially me, that am your mother. You have pierced me with your darts. You condemned me as a widow. Neither did you regard your valiant and invincible father. And to anger me more, you are amorous with the wenches and harlots. But I will shortly make you repent, and this marriage will cost you dearly. To what a point am I now driven? What shall I do? Where shall I go? How shall I restrain this beast? Shall I ask for aid of mine enemy, Sophrosyne, whom I have often offended to engender you? Or shall I seek for counsel of every poor and rustic woman? No, I would rather die, howbeit I will not cease my vengeance to her. I must have recourse for her, and to go to Sophrosyne, who may correct you sharply, take away your quiver, deprive you of your arrows, and bend your bow, quench your fire, subdue your body with punishment, and when that I have shave of your hair, which I have dressed with mine own hands, and made to glitter like gold, and when I have clipped your wings, which I myself have caused to grow, then I think I will have sufficiently revenged myself upon you for the injury which you have done." When she was finished speaking, she left in a great rage out of her chamber. Immediately as she was going away came Hera and Demeter, demanding the cause of her anger. Then Aphrodite made answer, "Verily, you have come to comfort my sorrow. But I pray you with all diligence to seek out the one whose name is Psyche, who is a meandering across the countries as I think you are, not ignorant of the rogue my son Eros and of his attitude, which I am ashamed to declare." After knowing about the whole matter, they did endeavor to calm the ire of Aphrodite. "Why are you so offended by the actions of your son that you should so greatly accuse his love, and blame him by reason that he is amorous? Why do you seek death for someone he fancies? We most humbly entreat you to pardon his fault. If he consented to the mind of any maiden, what, do you not understand that he is a young man? Or have you forgotten his age? Will he always be a child to you? You are his mother, and a kind woman. Will you continually search out his frolicking? Will you blame his bliss? Will you bridle his love, and will you reprehend your own art and delights in him? What god or man is he that can endure that you should sow or disperse your seed of love in every place, and to make a restraint thereof within your own doors? Demeter, you will be the cause of the suppression of the public places of young dames." In this way, these goddesses endeavored to pacify her mind and excuse Eros with all their powers, although he was absent for fear of his darts and shafts of love. But Aphrodite would not give in. But thinking that they did but trifle and jest at her injuries, she left them and took her voyage towards the sea in all haste. Psyche continued her search for her husband, the rather because she thought that if he would not accept the sweet flattery of his wife, he might have mercy upon her at her service and continual prayers. Upon seeing a temple on the top of a high hill, she said, "I wonder if my husband master could be there." So she traveled onward with great pain and travail. Moved by hope, after climbing to the top of the mountain, she came to the temple and went in. There she saw sheaves of corn laying in heap, blades wreathed like garlands, and wreaths of barley. She also saw hooks, scythes, sickles, and other instruments to reap. But everything was out of order, and as if it was just thrown down by the hands of laborers, which when Psyche saw this, she gathered up all the tools and put everything duly in order, thinking that she would not despise or condemn the temples of any of the gods, but rather gain the favor and benevolence of them all. By and by Demeter came in and saw her busy and curious in her chapel, cried out afar off and said, "O Psyche, needful of mercy, Aphrodite is searching for you everywhere to have revenge on you and to punish you grievously. But you are mindful to be here and do not care in the least for your safety." Psyche then fell on her knees before her, watering her feet with her tears, wiping the ground with her hair, and with great weeping and lamentation desired pardon, saying, "O great and holy goddess, I pray thee by thy plenteous and liberal right hand, by thy joyous ceremonies of harvest, by the secrets of thy sacrifice, by the flying chariots of thy dragons, by the tillage of the ground of Sicily which thou hast invented, by the marriage of Persephone, by the diligent inquisition of thy daughter, and by the other secrets which are within the temple of Elysius in the land of Athens, take pity on me, thy servant Psyche, and let me hide myself a few days amongst these sheaves of corn, until the ire of Aphrodite be past, or until that I be refreshed of my great labor and travail." Then answered Demeter, "Verily, Psyche, I am greatly moved by your prayers and tears, and desire with all my heart to aid thee. But if I should suffer thee to be hidden here, I should incur the wrath of my cousin, with whom I have made a treaty of peace, and an ancient promise of amity. Wherefore I advise thee to depart hence, and take it not an evil part, in that I will not suffer thee to abide and remain within my temple." And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales. Many more tales. Until then, my friends, Enjoy the journey.